Studying at the School of Cinematic Arts is only for those who have passion and stamina and a dream that is strong enough to sustain them. Each of you who are about to walk across this stage earned your degrees through many, many late nights, early mornings, and in between a lot of hard work. But that's what it takes to be a graduate of this school. I think you knew that when you came here. And regardless of where your lives and careers lead in the coming years, I hope you'll always be glad for the challenges that the faculty, staff, and your fellow students put in front of you each and every day during the time you were here. With that in mind, I'd like to ask the faculty and the staff who played such an important role in your education to take a moment, stand, and let me say thank you. And while this is a day of celebration about the future, I want to take just a moment and remember three very special people who helped to make this school what it is today. Herb Farmer, who most of our graduates never had a chance to know, was here for 71 years and passed away this last year. And when you go over to the reception and you see all the wonderful cameras on display, those are Herb's tribute. Mel Sloan was our longest serving faculty member and developed much of the curriculum that you have pursued while you were here. And of course, finally, Anne Friedberg, who many of you studied with, many of those of you graduating today knew Anne, a great scholar, theorist, and leader who is sorely missed by all of us. Each year, there's a magical moment for me, and it's the moment right now when I get to look out at all of you who are about to graduate, filled with extraordinary potential, and get to imagine what you're going to do next. Well, in all the years I've been here, I've never been disappointed by what you do. And those that went before you, no doubt, you will do just as well as you continue to lead the field in whatever path you take. And we will all be watching with great pride, great hope for you, and great affection. As you leave here today, you will join the ranks of many alumni, and they will be there to welcome you into the profession, just as they welcomed you here and supported you while you were here in so many ways. We now all expect that you will very soon be there for those who follow in your footsteps. That's the tradition. Being part of SCA is a lifetime commitment, and we count on you to carry that legacy with you as you join one of the most wonderful communities of alumni anywhere on earth. And now, let's begin our ceremony by welcoming Professor Michael Renoff, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, to the podium to present the Staff Recognition Award. Michael?
The Staff Recognition Award is an honor bestowed upon a particularly noteworthy member of the staff of our school. It is the faculty, of course, who are charged with the training and education of the students, and we take enormous pride in their accomplishments. But the faculty simply could not do their work without the unstinting efforts of our first-rate professional staff. Anyone who has drawn a paycheck at the School of Cinematic Arts over the past 30 years has benefited from the knowledge and expertise of Ingrid DeCook. She's called our Human Resources Manager, which means she oversees every administrative need associated with all the school's personnel, faculty, staff, and student workers. Ingrid's our go-to person on many fronts. Have a question about your benefits package? Talk to Ingrid. You're an SCA faculty member working with a filmmaker visiting from abroad who's encountered visa problems. Ingrid could probably help. You're a staff member feeling uncomfortable around your supervisor and you don't know where to turn. Better go see Ingrid. That's right. For 30 years, it's been Ingrid DeCook's job to handle all the sticky, complicated, highly sensitive and confidential personnel matters that arise in our school, and she does a sensational job. And unlike Toby on The Office, she has earned the respect, trust, and confidence of every single employee in the School of Cinematic Arts. Ingrid, please come forward. Staff, and students of the School of Cinematic Arts, I thank you for 3 decades of outstanding service. As a token of our thanks, I'm pleased to present you with this commemorative coin bearing the image of the original film school, Shacks, made from silver recovered from old film stock in the school's own lab. It's a symbol of the grand tradition of our school and is bestowed on you in appreciation for all you've given. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I have been here a while. I'm on my 3rd set of buildings. I remember the old shacks. But one thing that hasn't changed has been the wonderful staff and faculty, and of course the fabulous students that I've worked with over decades. Thank you so much. This means a lot. And congratulations, graduates.
And now we want to welcome to the podium Domer, who will present the Outstanding Alumni Award to our recipient this year. Do?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Each year, the school and the Mary Pickford Foundation pay tribute with the Pickford Award to a person who attended USC whose achievements are so remarkable that they bring special distinction to the USC School of Cinematic Arts and to our industry. Mary Pickford, known as America's sweetheart, was a silver screen legend, gracious, beautiful, and charming. She was an internationally beloved movie star who appeared in over 200 silent films, and she was also an astute businesswoman who demanded and received complete artistic control over her work, as well as a salary on par with those of the most popular male film actors of her time. As the 16th Pickford recipient, John Landau joins a roster of highly talented men and women, including William Fraker, Conrad L. Hall, Alan Ladd Jr., Michelle Manning, Walter Murch, Jay Roach, Gary Rydstrom, Stacy Scher, John Singleton, David L. Wolper, Robert Zemeckis, Laura Ziskin, Ray Harryhausen, Brian Grazer, and Shonda Rhimes. All of the Pickford awardees are distinguished by their extraordinary and unique vision for pushing the boundaries of the moving image, and John is no different. As the producer of both Avatar and Titanic, the #1 and #2 worldwide grossing movies of all time, Landau has played a vital role in bringing these magnificent cinematic experiences to the screen. The The years of effort that Landau poured into these incredible stories have resulted in stunning works of entertainment that have radically redefined the possibilities of the art form. These films, along with many others that John helped bring to fruition during his time as Vice President of Feature Production at 20th Century Fox, include Die Hard 2, the Home Alone movies, and Last of the Mohicans. They represent big screen entertainment at its absolute best, and they make a powerful statement in favor of the theater-going experience. He has won the Academy Award, the Golden Globe, the DGA Award, and today we are so proud to honor him with the Mary Pickford Award. Please join me in a warm round of applause for John Landau.
Thank you very much. It's an incredible honor to be here. Something I never thought when I was a student out there in buildings that are very different than today would ever happen. The last time I was lucky enough to be up on this stage was 1998 when Titanic won the Oscar for Best Picture. And I came up and I said then that I don't write, I can't act, and I can't direct, and that's why I have to produce. And I know that there's nothing in the world that I would rather do than do what I'm doing. But I also know that if I wasn't lucky enough to produce, I would find something else in this incredible industry of ours to do. Because I think what we do, no matter what part of it you're in, it's a collaborative effort. And I think that is so exciting to bring entertainment to the world today. I talked about the buildings and how the buildings have changed so much since I was here. One thing that really hasn't changed is the faculty and what they teach and what they instill. And I'll just tell you from personal experience, I didn't appreciate that in my first few years out of college. It wasn't until later on that I was able to reflect back on what people had really taught me. Not the technical classes, but the human interaction that I had with the teachers, and how I was using some of those moments and trying to inject them into the films that I was working on, that I really understood the significance of what USC brought to me. We had a little reception earlier, and I looked at 3 people who are currently on the faculty. Michael Pizer, Barnett Kelman, and Jeremy Kagan. These are 3 people who in the early stages of my career, I all worked for. For Jeremy as a PA, for Michael and Barnett as a production manager. And I am thankful to them for the opportunities they not only gave me, but for the wisdom they showed and things that I've learned from still today. So for you, the graduates, this is your